Today we explore how the disorganized or fearful avoidant attachment style behaves in relationships, what triggers its core wounds, and what can we do to heal them. This video describes the last style of insecure attachment, so if you're interested in learning more about the anxious or avoidant forms of attachment, please follow the links provided in the description box below. Moving on. As a disorganized attachment person, how do you behave in your relationships? Well, my guess is that depends greatly on which end of the insecure spectrum the dynamics of the relationship activates. Operating between the anxious and avoidant ends of the insecure spectrum, you may seem unpredictable and somewhat chaotic in how you behave, interact, and emotionally respond to others. Since you couldn't predict if your needs would be met during infancy, you became hypervigilant of your caregiver's emotional states. This need might have evolved into sensitivity to others' emotional discomfort, turning you into an empath. However, because you didn't learn to establish healthy boundaries, this attunement often made you feel uncomfortable and most likely to want to help others solve their problems. In adulthood, your hypervigilance has translated into being quite resourceful and adaptable. You are commonly known as the fixer in relationships because it was your job growing up to make your caregivers feel better and manage their emotions. You gravitate towards order and connection, so acts of service, physical touch, and spending quality time with your loved ones are your love languages. Words of affirmation probably don't mean much to you, likely because in the past they were not followed by matching actions. The same goes for gifts, particularly if you have had caregivers who provided you with what you needed, materially speaking. In your adult relationships, you like to do things for others and enjoy it when they do things for you, especially if you didn't ask for it. You appreciate being touched by your loved ones and can freely show affection. However, you also require space, so any form of entertainment can act as the perfect buffer or emotional soother. You value quality time, any activity that puts you right at the edge of your comfort zone, something exciting that you want to explore more with your loved one. This can look like watching a new show together, having a small dinner with friends, traveling to a foreign place, playing a strategic game, or going for a hot air balloon ride. When it comes to relationships in the workplace, you can be a bit of a firecracker. You're comfortable breaking social rules and speaking your mind. However, this life of the party facade can be emotionally draining if it comes from a place of codependency, where you are attempting to make sure you are liked so nobody will see you as a threat. After all, if everyone is having a good time, this ensures your safety within the group. You are genuinely pleasant and kind to others, and probably enjoy working alone, with a few quick group check-ins, because not only does this make you feel like the work you do matters, but it also guarantees that you can manage your expectations regarding how the projects you are involved in are progressing. As a leader, you may have some micromanaging tendencies and devote too much of your emotional bandwidth to offering constructive criticism or fear-mongering in an attempt to manipulate others to get things done your way. This leadership style is how you learn to manage your expectations. Since you have a hard time dealing with uncertainty, you usually plan like 10 steps ahead so you don't get disappointed. But let's be honest, things never turn out as you expect them to do, so you often do get disappointed. When taking a closer look at your behavior in any relationship, you can sum your triggers into 3 major themes. The first one is uncertainty, such as unpredictable situations or inconsistent people. When people you care about behave inconsistently or cold, they activate your hypervigilance. You get caught up in the story about that core wound that keeps screaming, "You don't matter," and you can easily become overwhelmed by your perceived lack of control. In an attempt to self-soothe, you may resort to manipulative behavior to manage your expectations and control outcomes. This leads to self-betrayal because things don't always pan out as you expect them to, and you are left feeling frustrated and disappointed in yourself. The second theme is injustice. When you get falsely accused of something you didn't do, this triggers your skewed perception of your value, your innocence, and your worth, causing you to put up walls and disconnect from others. Which leads us to the third theme, disconnection. When you are shamed, dismissed, or mistreated for your needs, sensitivity, or emotional reactions, you're less likely to feel comfortable sharing them with others. In fact, it can feel so uncomfortable in your body that you often dissociate yourself from it and look for unhealthy coping mechanisms to escape your pain. To begin integrating your chaotic attachment style, this should be your starting point. Get back to your body and get in touch with your feelings. It can be scary, I know, but it's scarier to live a life of misery. Practice self-awareness. As with any other insecure attachment style, your journey towards reinforcing healthy, secure emotional bonds requires you to become aware of your current patterns and how they manifest into your relationships. You may have been shamed for express your feelings or taught to feel nothing, so you learn it's safer to shut your emotional body down. Dissociation replaces connection, and hypervigilance become your MO to navigate unstable environments. Just like the anxious and avoidant attachment styles, we invite you to check out our videos on how to develop emotional awareness, how to process your feelings in healthy ways, and explore our Mindfulness for Emotional Health playlist, as meditation and body scan techniques are remarkable tools to calm the nervous system and expand our awareness of the dynamics of our negative self-talk. Once you have enough clarity about what those feelings are, you may find it challenging to express your true feelings because being open activates the core wounds that are expressed in thoughts such as, I am weak, I will be rejected, I will make a fool of myself, why bother to even try? You may overthink to control outcomes, preparing yourself for every possible scenario. But this builds unrealistic expectations and you're constantly left feeling frustrated. And because you believe that you cannot control your thoughts nor control the future, you attempt to bring certainty into your experience by controlling other people. You might have learned to manipulate others in a very crafty way, usually in the form of people-pleasing in order to earn their love. In doing this, you abandon yourself and your needs, which only leads to resentment. You may feel the need to over-explain any situation because growing up, those who care for you usually ignored your truth. If someone calls you out on your controlling behavior, you victimize yourself in an attempt to reaffirm your value, which only leads to outbursts of anger. You need boundaries. Set and reinforce those boundaries. Sometimes you may need space to process how you're feeling. Other times you want to be closer to your loved one. You are passionate but volatile. And the way you can manage your inconsistent behavior is by tuning into what you're feeling and begin setting boundaries to satisfy your own needs. This also ensures you are less likely to get overwhelmed and cope through angry bursts. Setting boundaries may look like using sentences such as, I grew up in a house where I had to walk on eggshells and I'm not about to repeat that experience with you. I will not be held emotionally hostage to your unpredictable moodiness and irritability. It's important that you don't invalidate my experience when we have a disagreement. I want us to prioritize emotional safety. Reinforcing those boundaries might be the most challenging learning curve you will experience. You may want to express your passionate views or learn to be assertive, but because you likely carry manic energy, you often come across as aggressive. Once you become aware of how expressive you look to others, but you're still learning to manage it, you may become passive-aggressive. You may try to suppress your emotions, but that too represents a challenge. For instance, if you do it when advising others, you may come across as condescending. And if you decide not to show any outward expression of emotions, know that that band-aid would only cause that manic energy to get repressed and expressed in unhealthy patterns like busyness, intolerance, and addictive behaviors. You need to learn to distance yourself from toxic people and unhealthy environments, to be self-centered and do what is best for your overall well-being first, because you realize you cannot keep pouring from an empty cup. Boundaries to you may look like becoming more selective on who you let into your life and to who you give your energy to exchange loud, narcissistic, and toxic agendas for quiet people who have emotional depth and calming activities that are healing. Are you new to our channel? If so, then welcome. Please like, share, and subscribe if this content resonates with you. My name is Liz, and we are sharing our emotional well-being series so you can strengthen your resilience to lead a more conscious life. In the next video, we will wrap up this chapter on attachment styles by sharing with you 4 steps to help you grow into an emotionally secure style of attachment. Stay tuned, and we'll see you there.